And a very pleasant good evening to you. I'm Bob Lee. College basketball on ESPN. Tonight, UNLV and Memphis State. Two teams with a great deal to prove, each in its own way. If UNLV wins tonight at a raucous Mid-South Coliseum, they very conceivably are the #1 team in the country in just about every poll. Yes, we're early in the season, but yes, it does mean a great deal to Jerry Tarkanian, who has the highest winning percentage of any veteran coach, going up against Larry Finch from Memphis State. Only his 5th game as head coach, and for the Memphis State program, they have something to prove, that they can play basketball and put some bad times behind them. It's a loud Mid-South. I've got a special guest in the studio. We'll meet him, then go live to Memphis after this.
Introducing the all-new 87
Basketball, UNLV and Memphis State. Brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Nissan, who invites you to test drive the new Go Anywhere Nissan Pathfinder at your Nissan dealer now. We've got the running Rebs and the Tigers, but first, our very special guest with us here this evening in the studio live, Gene Keady, head coach of Purdue, who, well, you don't want to be called the favorite in the Big Ten, maybe a co-favorite with Indiana. You know what it's like to go into Mid-South because you went in there in the tournament and played Memphis State back in '84. It is a loud, loud place.
That's true, Bob. I know Jerry Tarkanian right now is very concerned because it's a very tough place to play, and their teams are always very competitive, and when you're on the road, it's a different world.
Now, Memphis State, that program has got to be feeling, and Larry Finch, if you can think back to your early days as a head coach, for Larry, only his 5th game tonight, and a lot of extracurricular pressure on him as well.
Well, I know he has a lot to prove, and of course it's a different situation than a lot of programs would have, so I know all eyes will be on him, and I would not want to be in his shoes.
Well, you're in his, in Tark's shoes in that you are a highly ranked team. You have a game on the road in Hartford, Connecticut tomorrow against UConn, the University of Connecticut in Hartford. And Tark could be #1. So there you are going. You can really identify with what Tark's got tonight because favorite on the road going in with a national ranking against a rabid crowd.
Well, thank goodness we're going against a little younger club, Bob, but at the same time, anytime you're traveling, it's very, very difficult, very competitive, and I know that our kids are concerned about it, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, the 3-point field goal, Gene, was a great part of UNLV and winning the NIT. Freddie Banks was throwing them up from outside the NBA 3-point line. Do you like it? I think you'll benefit from it, so do you like it that much?
Well, I like it because we have some shooters, but I'm not sure it will help the game of basketball. That's my biggest concern, and of course, we won't know that until we have the season, and right now I like it because we've done very well with it.
Freddie Banks, dangerous guard. He seems to be the catalyst that makes all the cylinders click for Vegas.
Well, you know, we didn't get to watch him much because we were playing, and it's a situation, I've heard a lot about it. I think they've, made 40 3-pointers so far in their games they've had so far. So they proved that so far they deserve to be #1. And of course, Freddie Banks is one of the greatest outside shooters in the country right now.
Going into Mid-South tonight against Memphis State. Memphis State, we talked about Askew. He's got to really produce. They lost 3 players, Memphis State did, 2 of whom have played some time this year in the National Basketball Association. So Larry, aside from the pressure outside, has got some tactical decisions to make.
Right. Vincent's got a lot of pressure on him this year because a lot of the load was put on him when Bedford left, and that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But he has some very good players around him, too.
It is a raucous place, the Mid-South Coliseum. You know that very well. We're going there in just a second. We'll be checking out the action tonight between Memphis State and UNLV. A win for the Reds. They'll consolidate #1. Gene and I will be back throughout the evening, and we'll be back right after this. We are standing by for UNLV and Memphis State, along with head coach of Purdue, Gene Keady. I'm Bob Lee. We'll be going off to the Mid-South in just a second. Before we do so, let's check some scores from around the country where #10 Navy was in action tonight. Easy win over Yale, 92-63. Also today, Nathan Bailey, who had been projected as a starter on that Navy team, resigning from the Naval Academy because of an honor code violation. He will transfer to another school. Now in Bowling Green, Kentucky, Gene knows those parts very well. He coached the Hilltoppers. USC wins Game 1 of the Wendy's Classic by 1 point over the Razors of Murray State, doing it inside the final 5 seconds. Second game, Mercer against #14 Western Kentucky. Gene, your own team's got it 43-37 on top of Mercer. In Syracuse at the Carrier Classic, the home team played the first game tonight, and the Orangemen over Oklahoma State, coached by Leonard Hamilton, his first year as a head coach. Syracuse wins it by 11. Northeastern, which looks so very good in Alaska, the #2 team in the shootout, trailing the Jacksonville Dolphins 33-29. That game is now gone to halftime. And in Iowa City, #5 Iowa has defeated Delaware 95-47. So you will know Iowa very well from the wars of the Big Ten upcoming, Gene. everyone says it's going to be Purdue and Indiana, and maybe throw Iowa in there as a tri-favorite.
Well, I think you can throw Iowa in there as a favorite after what they did at the shootout. So Illinois is going to be a very good team, too. And, of course, Michigan State. And when you start leaving out people, it gets you in trouble. But I think you're going to see a hectic Big Ten battle. And those teams that can win on the road in the Big Ten have a chance to win it, of course. And that's a tough part.
Winning on the road, that's always the tough part, something that Tarkanian and the Rebels have to face tonight. We will be back at halftime talking about your Purdue team, of course, one of the, well, let's call them the favorite perhaps in the Big Ten, and Indiana as well, of course. We'll also be taking a look at head coach Larry Finch, the head coach of Memphis State. But now we'll send you to Mid-South Coliseum for tonight's game. John Albright standing by along with Jim Thacker. Rebs, if they win, consensus #1. We'll see what happens. It'll be a noisy night tonight in Memphis.
Last year, these two teams played a tremendous, exciting game out in Las Vegas. Nevada, Las Vegas won that game by 1 point. It was a thriller. And here, the return game tonight, John, it's so much at stake.
It really is. For Nevada, Las Vegas, as we've mentioned probably too many times already tonight, if they win tonight, they are the #1 team. And for Memphis State, it's a game to build confidence on. A very big game for them.
I want to welcome the rest of the country to our telecast. Here are the officials, Paul Galvan, Al Hickney, and David Libby. 2 of those 3 from the PCAA, just as last year, 2 of the 3 in Vegas were from the Memphis State in their home white uniforms. They're 2-2, all in the Big Apple NIT. And Las Vegas is 4-0. UNLV, there are the starting lineups. Gilliam's the power man inside for UNLV. Banks is the All-American candidate on the outside. Askew, the leader for Memphis State. But all 5 starters for Memphis State are scoring in double figures. Last night will be in. Last meeting, of course, was the dandy we mentioned. A 1-point decision. Kept controlled by Memphis State. Alexander Wilford under the layup by Gray. Memphis State scoring off the opening tip to Sylvester Gray, their great freshman forward. Both teams like pressing defenses. You'll see an up-tempo game here from these two. Man-for-man defense by Memphis State. Down low to Gilliam. Tries to come inside. He is fouled on the spot by Alexander. First foul of the night. Marvin Alexander, 6'7", sophomore. And there's John Wilfong, whose father and uncle were outstanding players here in previous years at Memphis State. Jerry Tarkanian, of course, the winningest coach in college basketball among active coaches. Won over 440 victories. 3-point shot by Patio on the outside, and UNLV goes to the lead, 3-2. There's the excitement already of that 3-point field goal try. Aggressive man-to-man pressure defense by UNLV. That's their trademark. They really keep pressure on you. The 45-second shot clock, of course, be a factor. Here's a loose ball picked off at the intersection by Patio. Back come the running Rebels, leading by 3-2. Memphis State, not quite as much pressure on the man-to-man, but is a sticky man. Here's Bass Knight on the spin inside. Rebound grabbed off Alexander from Memphis State. UNLV leading by a point. Wilfong in heavy traffic and a reach-in foul by Gilliam. Well, Gilliam, of course, will get the wrath of this hardy partisan crowd because of his great talent and his popularity and his reputation. The Hammer, they call him.
Coach? Well, he's definitely got an NBA body, and it's really important for Memphis State to keep him under control. Memphis State needs to do a good job on the boards, and they've got to control that 3-point effort by UNLV.
3-2 UNLV. Inside Alexander, hacking foul by Banks. Freddie Banks. One thing about Las Vegas team is they have allowed the opponents to shoot 138 free throws in just 4 ball games. So they do commit a lot of personal fouls.
And that's one thing Memphis State is going to have to capitalize on, Jim, because coming into the game, they're only shooting 61% as a team from the free throw line. They've got to do a better job there.
Tarkanian, in his years, has dominated the Pacific Coast Athletic Association, winning 104 and losing only 10. Alexander ties it and got a chance to untie it. He was a power forward last year, and he moved to center with the absence of William Bedford. Another lead here by Memphis State, a 1 point. That's kind of a containment press that Memphis State. Banks on the three-point try. Rebound controlled by Gilliam, or is it lost out of bounds? It'll go to Memphis State. Larry Finch in his first year at Memphis State, but he's been a namesake here on the banks of the Father Rivers at Memphis as a high school star, a star here at Memphis State, assistant coach. He played pro ball here, and now he's the head coach after 7 years with Dana Cook. Alexander down low. Twisting shot is put up and in by Askew.
Yeah, Jim, that's going to be a big point, whether or not Memphis State can operate effectively on the inside.
There's the ball, and there's a blocking foul on Gray. Sylvester Gray picks up his first personal foul, number 2 against Memphis State. Memphis State in the lead by its biggest margin at 6-3. So far, UNLV has fired up 2 3-pointers, hitting 1 of them. It's their playmaker. He seldom shoots. Mark Wade, but what a quarterback he is on the floor. Gillum comes outside the hole, and rebound is kept alive, then ripped off on the inside by Gray. Wilfong all the way, and up over the top. That'll be a personal foul against Memphis State, and I think that might be on Alexander, and he's had a tendency to foul over the years.
He really has. As a freshman, he made a lot of foolish fouls, and Marvin really is an important part of Memphis State's game. They need him actively in there, and he has to cut down these silly fouls.
First foul against Alexander. 13th foul, and here's one buried at the other end by the hammer arm and Gillett.
Now that's the dangerous thing. That time UNLV just caught Memphis State napping and got an easy 2 points.
Still a man-to-man defense by the Rebels. Alexander takes a look inside to Askew. He is triple teamed up there, and there's a kick ball by UNLV. That'll be an out-of-bounds play coming up for Memphis State.
One of the things you'll see the Memphis State players do is they're very unselfish. They'll move the ball around, and each player out there is averaging double figures.
Boyd missed an easy one on the lob play. Loose ball on the floor, scooped up by Gray. Gray feeds it to Alexander, right back to Gray for the jump shot hits. And a foul on the play, maybe against Mark Wade.
I believe they got Gray for charging there, Jim.
No basket.
Now that really turns into a costly play there because Memphis State was able to come up with the ball, and the question is the ball released before the contact's made? The referee felt it was.
Very, very close call. 6-5. Memphis State's lead is 1. Backcourt pressure by the Tigers. UNLV worked against this press in their midday workout here today in Memphis. They knew that the Tigers, like they do, like to press. A lot of teams who like to press don't like to be pressed. Down low, Gilliam gets the open shot. Memphis State covers the boards on the inside.
I'm really impressed with how the Memphis State team is going through the defensive board. They're really playing a good job.
Well, it's a crucial thing for them to do here tonight. Askew double team. Askew goes baseline, gets off a shot. Patio's going to have a tough time on Askew.
He really is. Askew's Memphis State's leading scorer, and how he plays is a lot determines how the Tigers play.
Brady Banks got caught up in the press coming down floor and turned it over. Banks is usually a pretty steady player. He does not like to face a lot of pressure, however. Rodney Douglas, 6'6" sophomore from Memphis, comes in. Gray will sit down. 8-5, 3-point lead. There's the lob on the inside. The Boyd for the layup. They're screening Boyd's man out high. He's getting free.
Good execution and really nice job by Memphis State of realizing that Boyd was wide open and getting him the ball.
UNLV will not hesitate to try the three-point shot. Banks on the drive. There's a collision in there, and he's fouled by Douglas. Douglas blocking on the play. Personal foul number 5 against the Memphis team. Douglas is first. Tarkanian wanted his team to get off to a fast start.
Watch Banks create that foul, Jim. That's just experience right there. He got Douglas to foul him.
Well, he was a wonderful player. MVP in the NIT in New York. Top returning scorer in the PCAA. Gets two. 82% free throw in his career, too. Just been a great player. He was a high school star in Las Vegas. He stayed home to play for the Rebels, and they love him out there in the desert country. That cuts the margin back to 3. 15:51 to go in the first half, and we got a good one cooking here in Memphis tonight for the top spot in the country. 3-point lead for the home team. The Tarkanians Rebels defeated 15th ranked Arizona, 4th ranked Oklahoma, then beat 2 ranked teams in New York, Temple and Western Kentucky, and now they're taking on Memphis State, so that's a tall order in December.
It really is. That's the philosophy of to be the best, you got to beat the best. And UNLV's certainly taking on that type of schedule.
Nothing significant in turnovers up to now. We played a little over 4 minutes. Memphis State leads 10-7. The biggest lead was 5 points. Boyd and Wilfong still the guards. Douglas remains in the front line in place of Gray. Zone defense now by UNLV. Underneath it goes to Alexander. Good fake for the layup.
That's just good execution by Memphis State. They made the zone adjust and beat it to the backside. Easy bucket.
Second time that Memphis is led by 5 points. Wade now working against the press here to get it out of backcourt. Spots his man open down here at Gilliam. UNLV will spread that court out only against the press, and they'll usually find an open man. They set a screen for Banks. 3-pointers on its way. Rebound as we picked up by Askew. Memphis State controlling the boards. Tigers lead it by 5 over UNLV. Askew baseline. Shot blocked and he's fouled by Basnight. Number 1 on Jarvis Basnight, the 6'8" center for UNLV. He says he's pushing me off, he said. Let's see if he did.
Now that time Askew just went straight to the baseline. Basnight couldn't even stop him. He got him with the body. But the key there is that the defensive player did not stop Askew. Askew went exactly where he wanted to go. He was in control.
They call him the Chief because he got that name when he was a young kid. He was always a natural leader. He's not a very vocal young man. He's rather quiet, but he's the man that Larry Finch is hoping will be the leader of this ball club. A change now. Number 40 is David Willard. Tall, 6'10" sophomore from San Diego. They expect great things out of this young man. He's coming replacing Basnight. Askew buries a pair, and here's the biggest lead yet by Memphis State, 14-7 in the first 5 minutes.
Very surprising so far. And this tempo's playing right into Memphis State's hands. And the press they've got is slowing UNLV up.
3-pointer is fired by Patio. Gerald Patio, that's the second one he's hit. He's 2 for 2 from that long, expensive range. 14-10. That'll cut the margin quickly. UNLV sticks to the zone. They're getting hurt on the screens they were setting for both Boyd and Askew. Nice fake by Askew. Moving, and rebound is taken off by UNLV. Here comes Patio. 3-2 break. Wade Gilliam out of the corner, buries it, and back comes UNLV with 5 in a row. 14-12.
That's the explosiveness of UNLV. Just a minute ago, they were down by 7 points, and now they're right back in the game.
A 3-point basket being a big item, too, in this little comeback. Memphis having trouble penetrating this zone here, just swinging the ball around, reversing it. Now they get into Alexander, and he spots Boyd for the jump shot. Good position inside Askew for the foul. That's 8 points for Vincent Askew. Memphis State leads again by 4, 16-12. Now the warning there is to tell the Memphis players, don't handle the ball after a basket. Tarkanian, and there's Finch. That's the matchup in coaches. You got the experienced veteran and the young rookie in his first year. Wade on the break. Now here's Patio again. 3-pointer, 3 in a row for Gerald Patio. And he's keeping Las Vegas in the ball game. 16-15. Rebels back within 1. The three-point goal has not been a big weapon. Underneath now, here's the backdoor cut, and the ball's knocked out of bounds by Dwight Boyd of Memphis State, and UNLV has a chance to recapture the lead. But I was saying Memphis has not used the three-point goal as a weapon, but Las Vegas has, and it's been a big item so far here.
Well, I don't think that's a lot to basketball viewers. That's not a big surprise. They've been shooting that shot for as long as you can remember.
This will go out to Memphis State. UNLV led only one time at 3-2. And Memphis State quickly recaptured the lead, but up by as much as 7 with the lead now is just 1.
Now, against this zone, Jim, Memphis State's got to move the ball quicker. They're standing around too much, and it's making the zone by UNLV that much more effective.
There's the skip pass. Boyd gets on the inside. Boyd takes it up there strong. And there's a collision and a foul, and it's against Willard, I believe, for blocking. That'll be number 1 on the tall sophomore from San Diego. Red-shirted last year after coming out of Texas junior college ranks. Tarkanian said today he's going to be a good one.
Now, right there, Boyd did the thing you can't let an offensive player do against the zone. He split the two players and created the foul. You shouldn't be able to dribble the ball and penetrate like that against the zone.
Remember the killer bees here at Memphis State, Bedford, Baskerville? Well, here's the only one remaining, Boyd. Memphis State right now 6 for 6 in free throws, and they're holding a three-point lead. And Kenneth Moody, who started the year as a regular, and now has gone back as sort of a sixth man, comes in the first time. 6'6" senior from Memphis Carver. UNLV is just 1 3-point basket now from getting even in this game. They won't hesitate to firing. Especially this guy, Brady Banks. Banks looking for a screen, fires under to Gilliam for a jam.
Great pass by Banks that time.
The hammer jammer, they call that, out in Las Vegas. 18-17, Memphis State's lead back to a point. 12 minutes to go in the first half. Alexander around his man, tries a shot in close, too heavily covered up, out of position. UNLV a chance to recapture the lead. They're down by just a point. Bang, oh, good move by Moody. Banks gets off the shot anyway, and rebound is kept alive. Gilliam's got it and knocked away and stolen by Wilfong from Memphis State. Wilfong speeding. Here's the drive and the layup by Douglas.
Good play by John Wilfong, the steal and then a nice assist.
Oh, that was the key to that play, the swipe by Wilfong. 3-point lead, Memphis State. Down low to Gilliam, the hammer, double team. Gilliam gets on the inside and a reach-in foul against Kenneth Moody. Boy, it takes an army to slow down Gilliam. What a powerful man he is on the inside. That's the first personal against Vincent Askew.
Pump fake once again, gets his man out of position. A little lucky there to hold on to it, but he definitely got fouled.
11 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first half. Tarkanian will huddle up his team on this timeout as they trail by Memphis State 20, UNLV 17. We'll be back.
What are you doing this Sunday? Hitting the beach? Another barbecue? Going for a drive? If you're bored doing the same old things, Taco Bell has the cure. This Sunday is our 49-cent Taco Sunday. Have fun with all the regular tacos you can eat, just 49 cents each. And if you absolutely can't change your plans, you can always order them to go. 49-cent tacos this Sunday at Taco Bell, the cure for the common meal.
Monday Night Fever has struck for sure, and the Castaway Sportsbook has got the cure. It's a t-shirt, my friend, from the Castaways. When you bet it, you get it by playing parlay. I love linebackers. I love replays. All these and more at the Castaway. Place kickers, wide receivers, we're intimate friends. Quarterbacks are pretty, and I love tight ends. At the Castaway, bet it, get it. At the Castaway, oh, bet it, get it.
we've got a moment. We want to remind you the announcers for this game have been contracted for and approved by Memphis State University. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission of this game without the written consent of Memphis State University, WMKW-TV 30, or Creative Sports Marketing is prohibited. Well, we played almost 9 minutes, and Memphis State has been on top most of the way, but not by much. It's 3 right now, 20-17. The biggest lead was 7. UNLV has been up there a few times, thanks mainly to that three-point play. And how does Tarkanian feel about the three-point shot?
Good for the game because it makes it more difficult to play his own defense. I think any rule that makes it more difficult to play his zone is good for college basketball. However, I do think 19-9 is too close. I would like to see it be 21 feet.
Well, that was one that they missed, and Memphis State jumps on the rebound. Tigers lead it 20-17. Askew, three-point shot.
That time Memphis State makes a three-pointer work for them.
Wade all the way. Reach in foul by Adkins. Sidney Adkins on the foul, and that'll be number 7 against the Memphis State team. We're going to go to the 1-and-1. There's Adkins, who had to sit out the last 2 years because of academic problems, but now he's in here to play. Tarkanian said he really didn't, but there's that familiar towel that he chews on, and Larry Finch has changed the look of this team a little bit. Team dresses up a lot more now. He knows the coaching staff all wear blazers and gray slacks. Wade will get the bonus free throw. Back in is Basnight for UNLV replacing Willard. Jarvis Basnight. And here's Mark Wade. His job is to set up the other players. He doesn't do a lot of scoring. Those are his only 2 points so far. He's down with a pretty good press right here. I haven't seen that familiar UNLV press that much here so far in the first half. They've been more back in the zone after that early surge by Memphis State. And it slowed down Memphis's momentum a little bit. Right now, Memphis leads by 4.
Again, Memphis State really needs to move the ball against this zone. UNLV's doing a good job of staying active in this zone, though.
You can see Askew looking back at Finch. Wants some orders what to do about it. It's been a puzzle for them. Have not gotten good shots. Moody, three-pointer. Rebound ripped off by Gilliam. Boy, is he the boss in there for those defensive rebounds for UNLV. There's Graham now, who's in the lineup for the first time. Give and go inside Gilliam for the short hook. And tipped up once, twice. They're still fighting for it underneath. It goes out of bounds, and it'll go to Memphis State. Larry Finch wants to get Dwayne Bailey in the lineup. I think they're going to call a foul on that play against Gilliam. Second foul on Armin Gilliam.
The key here is look how many times UNLV will get a chance at this. They're getting multiple opportunities. Basketball is definitely a physical sport. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in there.
Now, the last time Gilliam was a little bit too active. There's Dwayne Bailey, 6'9" junior, has now checked in the Memphis State lineup. Wilfong is out. So they're going to move Askew to the back court. But Adkins three-pointer. Memphis State hit one three-pointer. Now they've been off in the last 2. Here comes Graham on the drive, hitting, and he's fouled. Foul on the play. It could be a three-point play. The foul on Askew will be his second. Askew kind of hitting his forehead and self-reproaches. Askew is good. Watch it came plenty of time before the foul.
Well, Jim, no one stops his progress right there. That's the key. No one was able to stop it, and he put up the basket.
May remember Gary's brother a few years ago played for University of Maryland. Ernest Graham was quite a player. And here's his brother Gary. Both at Baltimore, both played at Dunbar High School for Bob Wade, who's now their new head coach, University of Maryland. Three-point play for Gary Graham. And again, UNLV is back within a point. 23-22 with 9 minutes to go in the first half. The zone defense has taken a lot of the quickness away from this Memphis State team. Quick one by Douglas. Very quick release. This young left-hander from Memphis is a very homegrown team again for Memphis State. 25-22. Memphis State lead. Banks gave up the three-point range. Passing offense being used by UNLV. Was invented almost by Tarkanian when he was in Long Beach. Here goes Graham to the inside, and he's fouled by Bailey. Boy, Graham has been very active since he came in there. Now they're going to call it on Adkins. Well, that was a close call. But the defensive man just wasn't there and set. So Wilfon's going to come back in replacing Adkins. Graham has put a lot of fire into this team since he came off the bench. He's noted as a defensive player, but he's been taking the bit in his mouth on the offense. They get a bonus. 25-23. Graham can cut it down to just 1 point. Still not much pressure here, although Graham staying down a little bit on Wilfong. Good defensive job here by UNLV. They're taking the inside game away from Memphis State.
Well, the key for UNLV, they're being so active in their zone. It's not a passive zone. They're blocking the passing lanes, and Memphis State's doing a little standing around, which adds to the problem also.
Shot clock's at 10 seconds right now. Good fake by Moody to get the open shot. Rebound Douglas, and it's taken away and big recapture by Moody. They reset the shot clock for another 45. That was a break for Memphis State. 1 point lead for the home team.
Memphis State being very patient and selective on offense. They're trying to get the high percentage shots each time down court.
Jerry Tarkanian does not like the zone defense. He despises it, but it's been his savior here so far with that. Moody blocked out by Baz Knight, picked off by Askew. What an athlete.
Right place at the right time there.
All right, Vincent Askew, some athlete. Bailey underneath for Wiltke. Moody kept alive. Bailey's got it. Bailey takes it up strong, hits.
That's a big possession for Memphis State. Wayne Bailey coming in and getting a big bucket there for the Tigers.
27-24. Memphis State by 3. Under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Almost a bad pass by Graham. Gilliam is wide open for the jam. The hammer jammer. Got a foul on Bailey. Yeah, another one on Bailey. And that could mean the score will be tied.
Jim, I think the foul on Bailey's out of frustration. Almost a push-off there. You could have a strong case for the push-off. See there?
Yep, that's it.
Just a senseless foul that time. One that he'll really, when he sees the films on that one, Coach Finch and the Tiger staff will really point that out.
I don't think they'll wait for the films on that. They may bring that up at halftime. Jerry Tarkanian says that Armin Gilliam is the most physical player he's ever had at Nevada, Las Vegas. He could probably be the top rebounder this year in the Pacific Coast League. Tied up. We're tied up for the first time in the game at 27 apiece with 6:47 to go in the first half. We'll be back in a moment as we start all over, even up game.
It's designed to ride the wind.
And the last 5 years, they've won 85 and lost 4, but they're getting the biggest test here tonight against the nation's #2 ranked team, UNLV. Certainly the heir to #1 if they win it.
Jim, it'd be very interesting here. This is the first time the game's been even since early on in the contest. It'd be very interesting to see how Memphis State reacts to the UNLV challenge.
No doubt that UNLV going to the zone turned around the game. Memphis State had a 7-point lead, and Nevada, Las Vegas ditched its man-to-man, went to a zone, and Memphis State has been stalled since that time in their offense.